Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be dealing with a maintenance issue on a house that's about 100 years old. It's a bad drip edge over a window. So let me show you what the problem is. So you can see this piece of wood. It's probably a piece of cedar, but it's got a pretty significant break right here, and that rot probably goes back under here. And what we're going to have to do is pull all the nails out of here, try to get this piece of siding off so we can get back in there. And one of the problems is going to be this piece because it's holding the siding. So let's get busy. What I use was a pair of diagonal cutters to get under the nails, pull them out, and trying to limit the splitting. I'm going to have to glue this up anyway. Pull that piece out and work our way over. Get this nail out here. This will be the problem piece. I think we're going to have to get this off in order to get all of this removed. It looks like we already have a seam here, so that's going to make life a lot easier. Now I can just get in here and remove this piece. This should be pretty easy to get off. All right, now we'll go down in the shop and make a new piece. One thing I wanted to do, since the process of making this new drip edge is going to take a few days with painting, just install a temporary piece of felt, which is just roofing felt, and that'll be my drip edge for now. For the drip edge, I have a piece of old deck material, 1 inch thick. That'll match the 1 inch thickness of the drip edge, and we'll rip it to 2 inches in width. We got the angle figured out. Now we can move the fence in just a tad. So I've changed the vertical angle to match the drip edge and adjusted the height, so we're ready to cut. So that didn't quite come up high enough, so we'll run it through again. Perfect. What I want to do now is cut a little notch right in here for my drip edge. So as I was cutting this, I noticed that this knot is creating a bow. And so what I'm going to do is, in this area, I'm going to cut some shallow relief cuts, and that will allow this to bend flat much easier when I go to nail it. So I've double checked my width measurements, and I'll take a little bit off the end. That way we'll be cut to the correct size. So now just give it a little light sanding to give some relief to the corners. And then we're going to seal the ends with some shellac. And we'll be ready to give it its first coat of paint. I find that anytime you have knots in wood, it's always best to seal them, just to kind of prevent any bleed through. And shellac dries really quick, so we'll be able to paint this in a couple minutes. I like to mix my shellac from flakes, dissolve that in alcohol. And it's an old-time finish that still has a lot of applications today. It dries so quick that you can give it second, third coats within minutes sometimes. Okay, now let's get some paint. Here's a little pro tip for you when you're going to be painting with a brush. Wet it first, especially up here. Get some water here, and then just lay it on a damp towel or something and get the excess water out. That'll make cleanup a whole lot easier. So what we're going to do is paint this on all sides. Give that a first coat and let that dry, and then we'll come back tomorrow, give that a second coat. So we'll see you then. It is the next day. I've had 2 coats of paint put on, and this has straightened out nicely with the kerfs put on. So what I've done is pre-drilled some holes for my finishing nails to attach. Sorry for the bouncy video. The camera is attached to the ladder. So we'll get this put in place. Tack this in. have a nail punch to put these flush. And I have cut a new piece of felt paper. Slide that up under the siding, hopefully. This is the tricky part here. Let's see if we can get this underneath a little bit. Let me work on that and be right back. Okay, with this up in place, just put a couple roofing nails in. That'll hold that in place. And now we'll get a piece of siding. Because I have a joint right here, what I'm going to do is apply some silicone white caulk, since that really isn't going to be a good place to glue. I'm going to fill that in to make a watertight seam. I think we'll do the same thing here along the top of the board. Try to get a bead across here. And look to just smooth that out with my fingers to get it uniform. This siding is about 100 years old, and originally it would have been painted, and I'm guessing somewhere around 40 years ago, the homeowner got tired of scraping and painting all the time and sandblasted this, and that's kind of the reason why it's got the texture that it's got. So now we're going to be back to using our nails. Hopefully I can grab something here. And we'll get another nail. And see if we can grab here. This should hit a stud. Can't do a big swing because the edge of the ladder is in the way. Well, let me straighten that nail and we'll come back. All right, we got that straightened out. That's pretty good. Now we're going to move down to our next piece. And then let me see if I can tap this over a bit. I don't think we're going to. There we go. It is tight. But it is in place. And this side over here is a hair high, so I'm going to pull that down. Okay, it's coming along. That didn't work. I'm going to pull that nail out. It's really not, it's a little undersized, but we'll finish up with these couple nails and then come back and nail this top row. Try not to reuse the old holes. That could be a little loose. Okay, finishing up putting some caulking in the old holes. And I will come back and put some stain on these areas to kind of hide the caulk color. Well, that's it. I did trim a little piece of felt off the edge just to bring it back. All we're left now to do is come back and do a little bit of staining, maybe a little bit of painting. So we have pulled out some stain. It's not going to be a perfect match, obviously, because the stain that's on this siding currently probably been there for more than 10 years. But if you have a similar situation, if you can feather it out a bit, it may not be so noticeable. I'm not too worried about it because I'll be restaining this wall in the not too distant future. So we're going to continue with our little touch up here and wrap up the video. Well, that'll wrap it up for this how-to video dealing with our rotten drip edge above a 100-year-old window. If you learned something, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, please drop them below. Like and subscribe for my next video. See you later.